The 2015 Infiniti Q50S has something on tap called IPA. It's not the beer you may enjoy at your local pub. It's a remote concierge who can look up directions to said watering hole and guide you there, as the designated driver, of course. IPA stands for Infiniti Personal Assistant. That assistant can not only remotely program your navigation, it can also check on things that might actually be useful, like the train schedule.
All right, so it looks like the next one departs at 10:10 a.m.
Okay. Now, the night before I had to check on the train schedule, I was driving home from a funeral and needed to know if South by Southwest had ended already. I wanted to get in touch with a client, but only after the festival had concluded. The IPA woman looked it up and said that South by Southwest had ended earlier that day. The Infiniti press materials say you can use IPA to make reservations, get theater tickets, or simply answer trivia questions. So my trivia question was, what's the strangest question anyone has asked you since the service has been online? This is definitely an earmuffs moment if your kid's watching this with you. Anyway, the operator said that a man had her call a certain type of business and asked if they provided a happy ending. She said she was embarrassed, but she called. Okay, you can uncover Braden and Brittany's ears now. In addition to the sophisticated telematics that even figured out directions to the Greek Orthodox Church where the funeral was being held, there's a special force field button on the steering wheel. That activates the distance control, blind spot warning, and intervention and other systems that help keep you in your lane and out of the trunk of the car in front of you. At lower speeds around town and in slow traffic, it's definitely the most invasive system I've ever experienced, but that's not a bad thing. After I got used to it, I made sure my force field was activated every time I got into the car. It's not perfect yet. It's not like I could recline my seat and check out my Twitter feed on the way to the dry cleaner, but we're definitely getting closer. For Stephen King fans, you don't have to worry about Christine the car, or at least I don't think you do. You can turn these systems off if you wish, but after you use them for a while and get past the spooky factor, I don't think you want to do without them. One of the reasons is the Infiniti system can see beyond the car in front of you. So if the car in front of the car in front of you crashes, you don't become the third in the chain reaction. The way it works is the Infiniti factors in radar beamed under the car or over the car in front of you and determines if there's trouble up ahead. If the second car up starts slowing, the Infiniti will warn you. If the second car up comes to a sudden stop and you don't do anything, the Infiniti will hit the brakes for you. The Infiniti Q50S has active trace control. When cornering, the system adjusts braking and engine output to give the driver more precise control. Speaking of controls, the double touchscreen is a great way to prove who touched what last. For those of us with borderline OCD, I'd probably have one of the cup holders filled with screen cleaning fluid to wipe away smudges every 6 or 7 miles, but maybe that's just me. I also bought a vacuum cleaner based on which one was said to be the quietest in the world. It was an Electrolux, in case you're wondering. The Q50 hybrid all-wheel drive made me realize the hybrids have really gone mainstream. No longer does one have to have hybrid badges all over the car so that you can tell that the driver is green from any angle. While the Q50S was both hybrid and all-wheel drive, neither technology was heavy-handed. Something else that's relatively subtle is Infiniti's Nissan heritage. While some dismissed Infiniti as a Nissan in a tux when the brand was introduced to the US in 1989, that sentiment has largely faded. While Lexus has covered upper-middle-class suburbs like automotive kudzu, Infiniti, and to a lesser extent Acura, are the other players. The hybrid power plant generates an eye-popping 360 horsepower, which is nothing to yawn at. The EPA rated the mileage at 27 miles per gallon in the city and 31 on the highway. The gas tank holds 17.8 gallons. The all-wheel drive Infiniti hybrid will dust a Prius with a 0 to 60 time of 5.1 seconds. The base price for the 2015 Infiniti Q50S hybrid all-wheel drive is $48,600. Options on our test car, including Infiniti's around view monitor system, intelligent cruise control, automatic high beams, and a few other items, brings our total prices tested to a little under $56,000. I'm Grant Winter, reporting for Real World Test Drive.